we on.
Y'all on Instagram, Facebook, y'all.
We on all that.
Live.
Okay.
Yeah, we doing live.
Okay. Good. On the YouTube, gonna be my Instagram and YouTube should tag man.
Yeah, most definitely.
Take pictures of y'all like y'all took the picture.
Oh, good. See, that's a shot for the ages right there.
So you right.
That's powerful right there.
So you right. Yes, sir.
Y'all ready? Man, let's do it. All right, man. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome y'all to another episode of All the Facts. I'm your host, Me That's Who, the Jackass of Podcast. And tonight, I got some special guests with me, which I like to call the alumni, because this ain't our first conversation. I got the brothers that's standing firm with the Chicago Black Hebrews. That's the Israelite School of Universal Practices, practical knowledge. I'm learning. Get it together. Yeah, right. And we got your motherfucker Serge Self, the Honorable Mr. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. And tonight we gonna make history, y'all. Y'all gonna be a half round of applause. It ain't that often you get this kind of branding in the same room. So tonight we're gonna step outside of the box and make sure they understand exactly the words we speak is what they need to understand.
I'm right.
The chairman and the captain. Give y'all self a round of applause.
Well, we can go.
Man, I do what y'all ask of me. You and these brothers.
Right on.
It don't happen just because I know nothing. It's what I'm informed of, and some of it makes sense to me, so I know exactly what I'm supposed to be doing when I'm given the opportunity.
Right.
And it's just a pleasure when y'all come around because I know I'm gonna learn something. It's phenomenal. Every time I see either of y'all, there's always something I can learn from. So
Still shopping, still, and me and the women shopping, me and the women, brother.
yes, sir.
Right. Whole time club.
I had wrote some stuff down, man, because I know y'all got y'all own thing y'all want to talk about personally. And the point of me making sure this happened was so parties can meet each other.
Yeah, right.
We don't got to do the blue ribbon and the red carpet and all that. What's understood don't got to be understood.
Yeah, right.
Y'all said do something. He always asking me to do something. Tonight is the night we make it happen.
Yeah, right. I want to first open it up if you don't mind.
No, sir.
By saying it's an honor and a pleasure, you know what I mean, to finally meet you, brother. You know what I mean, to be sitting down with you. For us, this is definitely a historical moment. So, you know what I mean, Black Panthers, I think for Black people and brown people as well, have always represented the struggle. You know what I'm saying? Of course, us all being from Chicago, the Chicago area, your father's famous, you know what I'm saying, in Chicago for doing the right thing. You know what I mean? We got a podcast ourselves, Roundtable Truth, where a few of the podcasts, we mentioned your father and your work that he done. You know what I mean? So I just want to say I appreciate you for sitting down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have been anywhere in the world that came to sit down this night. So I appreciate that.
Respect.
Yeah, right.
Sentiments are reciprocal. I'm honored to be here. I don't expect to use with my brother, Captain, and all the brothers here. Again, you're the pack house here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Good energy. I'm going to listen to that a rough day earlier. This already just the energy is it's good here. So I just throw this out there too. We got to embark on a big event for us. This would be this coming up weekend. August 30th would be the 77th birthday of Chairman Fred. Had he not been assassinated, so the fourth on the Defense Captain Mark Clark. And so it's a big day for us. And all two major days for us is August 30th and December the 4th. December 4th is International Revolutionary Day. That marks the assassinations occurred. And August 30th being Chairman Fred's birthday. And it'll be real intense around that time. So we trying to get the word out to different people. So this is this prime time, just for us to have this dialogue. Because, you know, a lot of times we got to do like a lot of, say, yes, that's what Gary and damage control by a lot of misinformation about the Black Panther Party. And, you know, now we pride ourselves on coalition building. So again, so it's the time when this happening, sitting down with you brothers, I'm honored. I'm honored.
All right.
So, like tonight, shout out to the brother Uriah.
Y'all done.
Yaradan. I'm still learning, y'all. Y'all know I'm dyslexic, but I'm learning. And that brother reached out to me. We always have conversations because we got mutual friends. And he was like, we need to come over there and have another conversation. And he was like, man, if you could reach out to the brother Fred and see if he'll come over and get some little dialogue and see if we can how to piece things together because we're in the same environment. And the beast that's before us, everybody should see it. It shouldn't be no big eyes, no little U's. That's the purpose of having y'all here with the brother Fred. Religion, politics, street ethnic, survival is what we're upon right now.
That's right.
So if we don't work together, we're working against each other.
That's it. That's it.
And like power and ethnicity, like us being whatever part they're gonna call us, and us knowing what part we supposed to be held upon. How do we work together to bridge the gap? Like the Hebrews, the Panthers, the Vice Lords, the same purpose that them brothers stood for back then.
That's it.
Today we have to stand for the same purpose.
That's it.
How do we get to that point? If we can get to here right now, having a conversation.
Just
You know, it's you know, it's talking about guys. A lot of times I think conditions are necessary ingredient. You know what I'm saying? Doing coalition building. A lot of times you can we look at the 60s, for example. A lot of times there was a time everybody came together. The music was saying something, so on and so forth. Or even regarding the dynamics like people like segregation, people still be in a position to say that's the time when people stuck together in segregation. I say you got to also add certain conditions was present also, and like to a coal is opposed to diamonds. So certain conditions are I mean sometimes we look at it like man we hate it. We got to start welcoming intense conditions. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times you see those coalition building, the prime time of coalition building. You know, let's go to the 60s for example. You know, on the hills. Era we refer to like as a class peaks, you know, U.S. President John F. Kennedy was the same Kennedy man was responsible for, you know, deploying Army tanks throughout the city of Chicago, Detroit, Michigan. Same Kennedy that implemented the peace accords, so on and so forth. Same Kennedy who authorized his brother Robert F. Kennedy, who was Attorney General, to put a wiretap on Dr. King, but he was a class peace when that camp with the intensified climate with Nixon. That making it on the campaign with law and order, it forced a lot of situations. You know what I'm saying? People recognize they couldn't afford the luxuries. You know what I'm saying? Say, okay, man, I got these differences with you, so on and so forth. So we in the stage of the game. This is an intense climate right now. And I think we should seize the time with that. One of the matches of the Black Panther Party was differences amongst the people are reconcilable. I have due to the people in the system, the state are irreconcilable. And contradictions are something that every community they have. You know, y'all we're taught to believe that soon we mention that they'll become defensive or there has to be necessarily an antagonistic contradiction. You know, when we talk about different street organizations, Stone Disciples, or religious institutions, so on and so forth, all communities have that. Right. But in our community, we're told, you know what I'm saying, first of all, don't acknowledge it. We have the challenges. We can acknowledge that even in our family, there's different dynamics. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't have to be antagonistic. So we acknowledge this. At what points of unity can we relate on? So okay, certain situations. Okay, not different to this, but this is a point of unity we can mobilize on. And a lot of times, do those intense times, and it gets up the ante. So we can't afford the luxury sidetracking major no minors.
Yeah,
right. Go ahead.
How do we capitalize with that information being political with the religious point that you stand for?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, man, I want to say I wouldn't be sitting here on this couch without managing and I know that's represents your father So I represent mine as well for managing and how a powerful brother. The truth started in the 60s.
Damn right.
69, when all those different movements took place. As a matter of fact, we did a podcast earlier and we talked about those different things.
Okay.
And so for us coming together, the most important part of us coming together, you can stand together, take pictures, march together, all that's cool. Right. But our belief is you got to be one mind up in here. You see what I'm saying? And one mind up in here means what is it that we lost before we came over here as slaves? And so when we say that we the Israelite school of UPK, it ain't something that we just saying saying the word Israelite because we trying to sound good. We went did the research and found out without a shadow of a doubt that black people in America are the real Jews that the Bible says.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So the struggle, we love it, the thing that the Black Panthers put down, so many different black groups they put down, all of them is good. But unless we come back to our identity, who we were before our ancestors got on them ships, we're gonna be in a chasing our tail. You see what I'm saying? So we gotta, just to answer the brother's question, we gotta come up here in the mind first, meaning what is the moral? Where our morals lie? If you understand, and if we don't do that, then we're gonna be in the jam. You see what I'm saying? Brotherhood, start in the mind. Meaning you look at the rules, that is gonna fix us. Loving our brothers ourselves. It's cool to say love, but what does love actually mean? Love means, Fred, Chairman, if you got a woman, I don't look at your woman, with lust in my eyes. That right there is established brotherhood. That woman belongs to you. How many murders does that stop in the city of Chicago if we look at the morality of this woman belong to that man, instead of saying, well, even though she got a man, I don't give a damn. I'm gonna disrespect this man and that woman, irregardless to the fact. You understand? The scripture, the Bible says what? A drug dealer is supposed to be put to death. You see what I'm saying? But we've been taught that you got to get money any way you can, even if it means destroying your people.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Unless we adapt the morals that have been put down in the records of that Bible right there, the ISUBK, we are the new authority over that Bible. And that's important to know that and understand that, because for so long, the man that's oppressing us has been the authority over that Bible. That's so-called white. I ain't got to tell you, the devil that the Bible speaks. I feel
That's right.
Right. Normally, you sit next to people, you say that, and you be like, damn, you gotta go to sit and reaction. You see what I'm saying?
You gotta feel a way.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? But when we say it, man, we mean it, man. You understand? Because we understand and know that this man have completely destroyed us, and he don't have no intentions of changing at all. You know what I mean? So that's what I would say towards that.
So leading right into the next part of the conversation, the youth is the ones that really need to understand the words that you and Brother Fred speak into existence, meaning like when we gone, this conversation could make sure they understand what we was mindful then, versus them jumping in the street and acting like they know what they saying and not being did the research to fight the system. How do we get them to understand, like the Panthers, the Black Israelites of Chicago, or that religion or belief system, period, is working in the same direction? Y'all need to carry that, so y'all kids don't have to go through what we went through. How we get them young boys, girls, young ladies and men to understand the system part of our future going forward as a culture?
I think a case example is what we're doing right here, right now. Dialogue right here, having this conversation, and some people seeing it, taking it in, taking the phenomenon of social media. Because it's quote Minister UEP Newman said that power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act and desire matter. Power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act and desire matter. Put that into the ground, study what is phenomenon, unusual event that can be scientifically explained. Case example, have Reverend Nat Tongue put us into the ground, seen the church as a phenomenon. He said, okay, we need to define it. And praise the Lord, past ammunition. Every time seemed to refer to the Negro spirituals, utilize that phenomenon. See, when Chairman Fred Chicago, a lot of people was against him organizing not only the race, but also the class contradiction. A lot of people's position was Don't talk to the gang members, so on and so forth. But it's a realness, put us into the ground. Seeing was phenomenal. Case example, well, in the west side of Chicago, we did win a vice lord to certain points of unity in the free medical center. Police has phony known devil disciples. We let them get up, so we now change our name to be known as the Black Disciples. And one wrote the free breakfast program. And even the federal government's own record, when it was existing, there's a record low to they call black on black crime. So these are, in fact, when we have a different theme every August 30th and December 4th. This year's theme we have for August 30th is footworking for Chairman Fred. I really just get hip to that, hold that down about footworking. I pull on into the ground, studying them youngsters, you know what I'm saying? We all that, see that how they communicate with each other. Now, New Orleans, we went to New Orleans. I chapter there, leadership coordinator, section leader Chewy Clark, who did 18 years in he did 18 years in Angola. He put me in tune. The phenomenon down there was the second line, like a hood version of Mardi Gras.
Mhm.
So we took it real carefully. We took it, we defined it, and said, how can we use this? You know what I'm saying? And we took it and we put the Free to Angola 3, the other political prison mantra in front of the second line. I was in Baltimore. I studied them youngsters. I see how there's a big thing with them wearing the white t-shirts in the daytime and black t-shirts at night. I say, listen, how can we use this for us? We put the Free Marshall Eddie Conway, free political prisoner on a t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So in other words, study the people. You know what I'm saying? We can turn the communities into classrooms, have a reciprocal relationship. They learn it from us. We studying them. You know, I'll tell you a situation. One time I was in Shawnee, one of the most notorious at that time, maybe still notorious medium concentration camp, medium prisons. And you get to the yard, I'm watching the youngsters, and I'm seeing a different leadership for the street organization. They count their membership. I asked them, so why y'all count? They say, man, in this case, when the opposition take one eyes off on the yard. So I took that same tactic and I tweaked it. We put together like a system with all the prisoners to contact their people if the guards snatch one of them up. So in other words, keep it into the ground, studying the people, seeing what's phenomenal. And that's just communicating with them. So I think that's an important move we got to do with the people, studying them, seeing what's phenomenon, make it work in our interest.
How you think y'all can make the youth see the system differently with y'all teaching?
Well, the first thing that we have to do is we got to stop blaming the youth for our problems. You know,
This ain't a blame. Get them to see.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't get them to see when you blaming them for their actions. They ain't gonna be able to see if you saying, well, you the problem. You understand? The real problem is the leadership that has failed us up until this point.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? You can't blame a child. Like, you see how youth acting now, they call them YNs, and our daughters, they out there bad, dressing like war, this, that. Well, what is the reason why they dressing like that? What's the reason that the YNs, you know what I'm saying, is shooting and killing each other?
Yeah.
It's because in the 60s, during the time when the Black Panthers rose and they took the right stance. But you had a brother that took the wrong stance. You understand? And we still stuck in that dream that Martin Luther King believed in. Now, this is all the facts. You know what I'm saying? You ask me a question, I'm going to give you the facts. You understand? And the facts is that we looked at some leadership, brother, that has failed. And the worst thing that you can do in the world is look at the youth and blame them for being the problem when the leaders that told you to join, what man in his right mind, give me right on this, tell you to join the man that been oppressing you for 400 goddamn years.
Right.
Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. Of course he gonna put things in play that totally decimate the Black family. You understand? Of course he gonna put things in play that send Black men to prison. So if you sit there and say, man, look at these dumb, look how they acting. You know what I'm saying? And these is babies. What the hell they know about all the history from the past that didn't happen? You see what I'm saying? So if you're gonna fix them, you got to say, look at the leadership and look at the leadership where it went and what it done, and how do we end up to where we at right now? And until we do that, if we keep blaming the youth for the problems, that's a coward's move. Blame the leadership that done failed us, you know what I'm saying, in the past, and then you'll be able to reach the youth. But don't blame the youth for the problem. Blame the leadership, not even from the past, but the leadership of the day. Namely, the religious leaders of Black people. These big churches that's all over Chicago and that's all over Black America that we look into, you know what I'm saying, for a sense of morality, they failed at the job. So Commander Jenny Hunter here tell you, man, it's one thing I love about Commander Jenny Hunter, he say, it's our fault. And when you take ownership, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, then you will begin to work on the things that'll help fix us. Right. And the rules will fix us. Again, you said at the top, as far as us being a religious group, we are not a religious group.
That's right.
You understand? The ISUPK is who we are. To be an Israelite is your nationality. You understand? A religion is something that a man come up with in his own belief. But when you go on, like you say, all the facts, the Bible is the facts. Like you see right here, we got on Real Nigga University. I can go in the Bible and show you what they call the prophets of the old niggas. Now, how many of us knew that they call the prophets of the old niggas? How many of us knew that Moses is the ancestor? Well, everybody knows Moses, but how many of us know that Moses is our ancestor? How many of us know, you understand, that Paul, all the prophets in the Bible was our ancestor? How many of us know that Jesus Christ, the bloodline that Christ got right now, how many of us know that we descend from the bloodline of the greatest nigga that ever walked the face of God green earth? How many of us know that we don't know that? And so if you want to fix the youth, you start with educating them on the truth, because everybody lying to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my answer.
I'm right. I'm right.
Beautifully worded. All right, like this is a two-part question.
You got any more to say? I mean, if not, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it all the fact. I want to shake you, brother. Savior. Savior.
Next time we have our coffee, our water, all of them, we still said when we start doing, we step our game up, man. There's no doubt about it. We with you, we working with you. You know what I'm saying?
Man, how do we? All right, like I don't personally blame the youth because I know it started before them.
There you go.
It's what they saw and they ran with. That's it. Knowing what I know now, I try and get them to understand the economic part of structure.
Yeah.
And you got to start from the ground and make sure the building don't just blow away, wash away, or none of that.
Yeah.
So you got to understand the words that people say to you are teachings, and those teachings are lessons.
That's it.
Y'all being powerhouses, and my apologies for saying group.
Oh, dog, man, don't you look at it, bro.
Y'all being influential as y'all are.
Yeah.
How do we get them to understand the power of economics and structure? If they could see it coming from the better leadership than what we saw till today.
Like, you know, again, it's just hit, I said earlier, that we definitely don't want to devalue this kind of, we don't want to devalue what's happening right now. You know what I'm saying? So, this is a good move. We're doing that. Also, you know, like so turn the communities into platforms. We did this technical straight street session. Go be where they at. And Stephen Biko, what the Black Conscious movement, said that our people in particular must grasp the ability to distinguish intelligence from the ability to articulate. Grasp the ability to distinguish intelligence from the ability to articulate. No, you studying plain language terms, you know what I'm saying? Grab, hit them, they'll say, you know what I mean? That was the economics, structure. That's because one this, let me say that we perfectly say this. One of this country's, one of America's tactics historically is to create chaos and then restore order. Create chaos. This is when you went to Africa, you went to Iraq, they go through there and just create chaos. We went to Chicago, for example. Those strategic hits with certain leadership, you know, certain people took from the streets. At certain the time period, like you can like literally live back in time period. Was what like Mr. Ford, for example. Before crack was even brought, Chicago was the last major city that crack cocaine was introduced in. They had Flutie Stokes had to be murdered. Jeff Ford, aka T. Malik, had to be locked up. You know what I'm saying? And you can get again. It's a war tactic. And see, one thing that our community we have a disadvantage because it's a non-acknowledged war. Other communities, you hear terms like propaganda bombs. You know what I'm saying? You acknowledge. You know what I'm saying? So we have to struggle to up the ante. So that they call this music they hit the youngsters with. You know what I'm saying? That's propaganda bombs. And what they're saying, they go to our communities, stabilize, they go back to some of the youth. Like it's an episode of National Geographic. So they had a situation with these elephants. They were going through Musk. It's like a puberty for them. And they were no bad elephants. They bumping each other. You know what I'm saying? Certain age they come through. And just with the presence of things, they brought 2 bulls, 2 male elephants, just their presence there. You see the elephants get back in check, get back in line. You know what I'm saying? This is the ruler class, everything that they hold up, you know what I'm saying, whether you talking about guns, or you talking about weaponry, you talking about structure, they tell us to stay away from it. But they maintain that, you know what I'm saying? They recognize the difference of structure. We're taught to believe structure is a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? But you have structure in your household, our communities, our communities have to stabilize. They say like even when you preface and you open up, you know what I'm saying, you lay that the lineage you come from.
Yeah, right.
You know that, you know what I'm saying? That's imperative.
Yeah, right.
They say an orphan horse is the most difficult horse to raise. You know what I'm saying? There's simple things you might think is like just even trot. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people just think we jump in the game and know what's happening. But that lineage, you know what I'm saying? It holds you accountable. You feel what I'm saying? When you come from, even in medical history, they want to know, okay, what your background. You know, so this arthritis is something common in your family. So that lineage of knowing you come from, that's why this is strategic to destabilize community. You know what I'm saying? The orphanages, all that stuff, those are political maneuvers that this system is historically implemented. You know what I'm saying? And there was a case not too long ago. Something got murdered. I mean, it was brutal. I think the head was chopped up. It was south side of Chicago. So we had this event, and I just somebody's last name was Hampton. So I said, oh man, I approached the sister. I said, man, you know, what part of the South y'all, your people, you know, they come from. Sister had no idea that she called her mother. Her mother didn't know. I said, damn, you know what I'm saying? There's no knock on the family, though. Even the thing is like, even during our age, growing up, you know, they're going down south, you know what I'm saying, during the summertime and so forth. So let's know we start talking about that, going past that. I mean, our homeland, that's a whole other thing. And we try to deal with this gentrification, land grab. These are, we have to start looking at these as war tactics, destabilizing the community, disconnected, you know what I'm saying? So we really had to struggle with that, put stuff in context of, and not look at history in sort of abstract sort of way, disconnected from, you know what I'm saying, how it impacts us. And say, even in medical history, they say, hold on, man, you got to watch this. This is your family. So even with our people, we have to really struggle to tie in history and not everyday conversations.
Right. Give it up. Give it up.
Right.
Hit me with that question one more time.
Pardon, buddy. Economically, how would you have the youth understand your structure?
Yeah, well, the first thing you want to do when it comes to economics is when you're dealing with the youth is teach them that wisdom is more important than the money itself. Because the white man uses money as a tool to destroy us. You understand? If you look at a lot of the rappers, they call it getting into a bag, right, y'all done? They get into the bag, but yet they get on the mic rapping about making our daughters whores. You understand? But yet they look at as rich. You see Puffy, he got all the money in the world. You see what I'm saying? He in prison right now for being a sexual deviant. The athletes, look at the NBA, NFL, they getting a ton of money. The white man told them, stop taking the knee, you know what I'm saying, which big shout out to Colin Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying, for taking the knee as a stance for the oppression that we facing. But it goes to show you athletes getting money, entertainers getting money, but them brothers was told to stop taking the knee, and they stopped taking the knee. Which will tell you is, we here to entertain, but we damn sure ain't gonna stand up for the struggle of our people. So we gotta stop looking at people that's getting to the bag and getting to money as our moral leaders. That's one of the problems with us as the people is we look at cats who got money, you know what I'm saying? And you know where that idea and that thought comes from? The Christian church.
Right.
We've been taught that, okay, this cat right here is a man of God because look at his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the alligator shoes he got on. Look at his suit. Look at his fine top. Look how big the church is. And when we look at those things, we miss the wisdom that we so desperately need as a people in order to maintain every day. Wisdom is what? When you get the money, you take the money and understand we're going to use this money to feed our people, man, to clothe our people, to take the money and make sure that we keep everything within ourselves. Integration was the worst thing that happened to us. Anytime you got to rely on the people that hate you to feed you, clothe you, even go to racism all through the goddamn hospital. A lot of our people dying because the damn doctors is racist. They ended up dead. Wisdom will teach you that you ain't never supposed to join your oppressor. All of the money, black people's problem ain't money. The problem is we don't got the knowledge, wisdom, or understanding to be a nation. You understand? And being a nation, having that structure is understanding you take the money and build what? Get your own goddamn hospitals. Build your own school. IHUK, we got our own school.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? 9909 Roosevelt Road. You know what I'm saying? You're a Black, Hispanic, or Native American Indian. You come there and learn for free. They ain't charging. This knowledge and wisdom that we get is free. Christ said, free get. We ain't charging nobody for nothing, man.
That's
You understand? It's too late in the game and it's too serious of a time to be sitting here playing games about teaching people to get to the bag, but jumping over wisdom. You see what I'm saying? And I just like to make a disclaimer. One thing about our school, when you come, leave your white friend at home. You understand?
Right.
Because like you say, you represent the power struggle. You can't represent the power struggle, you know what I'm saying, with telling your enemy, come sit down with you and let's try to build together. You know what I'm saying? First thing they say, well, some good white people, that's fine. Some good white people can stay at home amongst their people. No man put his hand in the barrel of snakes and say, you know, some of them's poison, some of it ain't. I'm gonna see which one that bite. In order to fix us, brother, we don't have to rely on us. It's one thing that Moses went through with the people when he took them out of Egypt, man. The people was ready to go back into slavery. But they wasn't used to living without the slave master. Before you gonna be a free man, you gotta start thinking like a free man. Because he understand Christ, the real Christ. According to the Bible, Jesus Christ is a nigga from the tribe of Judah, man.
Right.
And to understand Christ is to understand the brotherhood that Christ represented. Christ said, don't deal with, he ain't come for the other nations. He came for the lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? So that's what's important, man, is having the wisdom, having the knowledge, knowing who you are. You know what I'm saying? As a people, and understanding, once you got the wisdom and knowledge, now you can understand the path that you're supposed to take. Right now, as a people, man, we're in a world of confusion, man. Money is the least of our world. Go turn on the YouTube and Instagram. You will see black people flattering money. We got money, but don't know what to do with it. The ISUPK, we know what to do. You know what we're doing with it, man? We clothing people, man. We got clothes drives all over the country, man.
That's right.
You understand? We got food drives all over the country. We building schools. Dr. Umar, we can help you learn how to build a school, man. Brotherhood is how you build a school. You understand? So I ain't want to be long with it, but that would be my response.
So I gotta go backwards with you. No sweat. Last time we said, I told you I don't see color. So nobody a part of y'all organization cannot look like you.
You say,
And that's a two-part question. I want you to answer that as well. Because I know the Black Panther Party was subtle on that as well.
yeah,
I understand you got to take care of home before you can go to inviting anybody.
yeah,
But after home, cool, and we trying to make sure
yeah,
the message is understood.
yeah,
Everybody's not gonna look like us because it's a lot of us that don't look like us here now.
yeah,
Point example.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
So how do we get them to understand? I'm talking about the kids when I speak.
Yeah,
Because when we gone,
yeah,
they have to understand
yeah,
what you just said
yeah.
has volume.
That's it.
It's not just what I said.
Yeah.
You have to understand the words I spoke
Yeah,
to even get to make sense of those words.
yeah. That's it.
So
Yeah,
how do we tell them about the ones that don't look like us?
yeah. I take, listen, you know what I'm saying? Your nationality ain't based upon how you look. It's based upon the seed of your father. You understand? So the scriptures say Israel is like a speckled bird. We come in brown, like you just pointed to the brother, you know what I'm saying? We come in light brown, light skin. What's most important is the seed in which you come from. Now, when you take an apple and put apples in the ground, it ain't gonna come back up an orange. It's gonna come back up an apple. So regardless of the physical, how the physical look, it's all about who the seed of your father. Now, why is that important to understand? Because this is where culture come into play. This is where doing what your God say come in play.
Right.
And what the Lord said is according to Deuteronomy 7:3, all the way to verse 6 is, we are not to marry the other nations. The minute we marry the other nations, meaning other races of people, we take on the gods of those other people. And I know that's hard for people to understand. You see what I'm saying? But taking on the gods of the other people is the reason why we're in the condition right now. The reason what people teach about slavery all day, us going in slave ship, which was a very horrific crime. The one thing they don't teach is why we went in slavery. Why did 100 million of our people die on slave ships coming over here? Because you disobeyed the Heavenly Father. You see what I'm saying? Our Heavenly Father told us not to mix with the other nations, not take on the gods of the other nations. And if you know the historical facts, we was ran out of Israel in 70 AD and went and hid amongst the Africans, but we are not an African people at all. That's just a quick historical lesson. And when we went and had lived amongst the Africans for about 1,000 years, the one thing that we did was took on the God of the Africans. And because we did that, we ended up on them slave ships. And when we ended up on them slave ships, we came, brother, to the most horrific slavery ever known to mankind for disobeying the Heavenly Father and believing in gods that ain't got nothing to do with us. When you come together with white people, you know what you're going to start doing? Celebrating Christmas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Believing that reindeer is flying the goddamn sky and Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Then claiming to be a Christian on top of it and claiming to follow the Bible. I opened up the Bible, Chairman, and found out Santa Claus ain't in there. I opened up the Bible and found out white Jesus ain't in there.
Right.
Here was the kicker. I opened up the Bible and found out that the Jews was niggas.
That's right.
And not white. So I say, well, damn, we dealing with a real issue right here. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got a guy, just like you're a father, how do you feel, you know what I'm saying, when your kids disobey your rules in the house?
I don't entertain that because that ain't what I allow.
I know you.
It's not an option.
That's
It's not up for dispute.
That's it.
I'm a parent. You're a child.
Say they do break the rules. What do you do then?
Consequences.
Well, the Lord got consequences for us as black and brown people. And because we ain't bearing the rules of the Lord, we suffer the consequence of being under the foot of white people right now. Because we ain't doing what the Heavenly Father said to do.
That's right.
It's some that look like us that ain't going by those rules either.
Mm-hmm. That's it. Just like, but that's where punishment come into play. You see what I'm saying? For us not disobeying the Heavenly Father, we number one in AIDS, diabetes, all the different diseases. We going to prison like something you cannot believe for not obeying the rules of
We the original man though. We set the standard. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say I can't see color.
Mm-hmm.
Behavior is a learned pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna blame him for the way he looked.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna blame him for the way he looked.
Yeah.
Your action
Yeah,
describes your ability to me.
That's
just me.
That's
my
a
belief.
Listen, that's a beautiful thing that you don't see color. And like you just said, you have to see a man's actions. What has been the white man's actions since we've been here in America?
I saw the same actions from people that look like me.
But why?
Learned behavior.
That's the point. They learned that behavior. We learned.
Some of us ain't never been around other people.
You ain't got to be. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why they take.
They learned that behavior from somebody that looked like them though.
Let me finish because you know I'm gonna give it to you. You know what I'm saying? The white man don't have to be around you to control. He got Uncle Tom nigga leaders that he set up in your churches every day to teach you on how to act. The white man is the biggest. You're getting right on this, Chairman. The white man is the biggest thief in earth, biggest lie in earth.
Right.
Biggest. We sitting here with get the Chairman a hand again. We sitting here with the goddamn Chairman where the Chicago police went in and murdered this man for giving out lunches, juices, and everything else, and we still don't understand that the white man is the goddamn devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
So if we murders, who do we learn from to be murderers?
Right.
If we thieves, if we adulterers, who do we learn from to be these different things? We learned it from him. That's who we learned it through.
Somebody taught it to these kids. That's my thing. Like, I understand your message, but the people that's growing up under us, they don't know nothing of what you speak of.
Mm-hmm.
They may see it on TV,
No doubt.
someone acting it out, but
No doubt.
you two in particular
Yeah.
can speak from a different realm.
Damn right.
We have to get them to understand
Yeah.
it's not exactly that, but don't ever fucking forget that part.
Damn right.
Today, though,
Yeah.
it's gonna take everything
That's
to
it.
beat the machine, regardless of how you look.
If you don't, I'm gonna say this, and I'm passing the Chairman. If you don't teach the children who their enemy is, then they're gonna always end up in the trap. You understand? If the damn hyenas don't teach the baby hyenas that the lions is out to kill them, then they're gonna walk right to the lion's mouth. We walk right to the white man's traps every day because we still ain't figured out that he all right.
We need some better teachers. They don't get to see y'all every day, man. Y'all special.
They shout out to you.
The captain, the chairman, like you don't run into this shit every day. Oh, we got the know a guy. There's no guy. You can tell you about somebody.
Right. I don't want to hawk. Get back in
No. Okay, this is a spit is still sharp skill. You know, some men. I always say men and women sharp, men and women. Listen, it's good dialogue. But on here because on this point, we're going to come back. It's race thing. I thought you have gone on.
You say you want to be able to tell it too. Ain't no story.
Y'all been with us for a minute, y'all saying it's like step out.
Sorry, yeah. We appreciate you again.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
We love to have you, man. If you flyer, we got our podcast, a roundtable with you.
Okay.
We would love to have you get more in depth about who you are, like ask you some questions people probably ain't never asked you before. You know what I'm saying? We love to chop it up and get cool. You know, that's right. You saying right here is history. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, these.
I called that one, man. I told them people when I put that fly out, I said, I'm like, Joe, this history, Joe. 'Cause I know the few people that do know me and know I deal with said entities.
Yeah.
How you pull that? How you do that?
Yeah.
Be cool, Jimmy. Jimmy, be cool, Jimmy. It's gonna work itself out. It's supposed to happen.
Yeah, right there.
I gotta know what I need to know to even ask these kind of questions.
Right. Race question, race consciousness we talk about. We got technology. We got technology. You know, so we could be so that's some, those who try to took those rose-colored glasses on and say, I don't see it, so on and so forth. But the reality, the race question is the top tool utilized by the system. You know what I'm saying? It's a question that you mentioned that certain behavior you see in different communities. But the question of power too, you know what I'm saying? Like I was speaking a case, young brother got killed in LA one time, the police had murdered.
Mm-hmm.
And other organization, their position was something like, was the same thing when we kill each other. And I said, I beg the difference because it's a certain feeling you have when somebody tell you someone your and somebody just got killed by the James, somebody like me. Mm-hmm. It's a certain feeling you have, okay, it's gonna handle that.
Yeah.
But the white community or the police, the state hit, can't be honest, it's like an extra hit, like it's a powerlessness. A lot of people feel like, damn, I can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? That's a different dynamic, you know what I'm saying? And we talk, and talk race to our culture. We talk, you know what I'm saying? It's like even, let's say like, whether it be foods, whether it be getting that medical history, whatever, it's not to acknowledge those different dynamics. So, race is such a top tool, like even when we talk about insurance, credit, or police, renting, anything. That's the first thing. I mean, before, like some people debate about what takes top priority, race and gender. I said, listen, they tell you, this is a black male or black, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That race question, and it's something that we're told to put to the side, it doesn't exist, but it's a reality that we have to acknowledge it. That's like whether we talk about casting different religious institutions, whether we talk about gender situation, and a lot of times the system they gaslight people in our community to say the gender first. So you know what I'm saying? A different dynamic, to put the race question to the side. That's something that again that is historic. I mean, what are you talking about? When you look, I mean, zip codes are code words. What race of people we dealing with? You know what I'm saying? It's a big discussion recently. We're talking about getting the estimates of your homes, and they come through, get the turn on you, and they saying that they had to go hire some white people. So, the planet they live there, change the artwork inside their home. You know what I'm saying? This impacts every aspect. You know what I'm saying? And the deal is we talk about technology, but it's like, I mean, not the elephant in the room, but the black thing is in the room.
The one thing.
It's what, but to acknowledge it, we got to come to grips with that. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no time up for to say, we just talking about food right now. We just talking about this right now. I mean, everything. Infant mortality rate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I think ours 4 times higher than the white community. You know what I'm saying? You told the system. They said that it came out that crack we had this reactionary assessment that based on morality, so the person's a bad person for crime. They laid out, they did stuff. The more melanin is in your skin, the more easily addicted you're gonna become to it.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This was chemical biological warfare. Marketed, I'm talking about, they had the propaganda. Go back and listen to the type of music that was being put out at that time. How they also had the type of movies, the propaganda bomb, excuse me, that we've been hit with, and to go that far. Say the more melanin in your skin, the more easily. This is a scientific assessment. We have to up the ante as opposed to reactionary assessment. You're a bad person. You get on drugs. I'm talking everything from the Chicago, the base. I mean, go look at the history of the red line. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This was and remains one of the top segregated cities in the country.
That's right.
Race question, I mean, how it was utilized. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I went to other places, people say, man, Chicago to the compounded generational poverty. You feel what I'm saying? In certain areas of Chicago that I have still not been at. I got lost early. You know what I'm saying? You're saying you say, well, just go there. No, you're told directly and indirectly, you say where to go, where you can't go, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? So that dynamic, how it impacts every aspect. You know what I'm saying? The type of food, they say the Family Dollar, they say it's different RCs that they drop off in certain pops. So it says different soda pops to our community as opposed to other communities.
Right.
That's how deep this go. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that, I mean, that again, they use different euphemisms for it, but it's something we have to acknowledge in every conversation. Because and to be clear, who we are. Again, because you got to be. Because like it's a joke they make about me to this day in the prison. They say, man, Chairman Fred going to all the different meetings, everybody, he still come out Chairman Fred. You know what I'm saying? I'm clear who I am. I mean, I'm able to deal, I'm able to dialogue, have conversation. But again, our people, the attacks on everything. I mean, I remember just even, we organized some hunger strikes and I was here to Captain. And just even some of the attacks we resort to get the Latin Kings, put the word downstairs, speaking Spanish, you know what I'm saying? And I remember some brothers like, damn, we got a language, for us to speak amongst each other. I recall like even Cinco de Mayo. And I was struggling with this brother, when his response, so he really ain't got no feel on our people. Because he had this, I was saying, that's something that all their community, you see the pride in them. When you see the flags, right? You know what I'm saying? The main common community. You can, I mean,
It's 2-3 weeks ahead of time before the day.
feel it. You can feel the intensity of it. I'm talking about, and all of them, they're not in tune with the history about, you know what I'm saying, the military defeat, the main columns is something that, but it's a pride. They'll see that flag. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling them, I said, our community is the pride of that. He said, no, we got you. I said, man, the Juneteenth, come on, ain't water that down. Be for real. Not even the premise of it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of. It's humbling. You talk about, this 2 years after chattel slavery was ended. They said the white Confederate general came and said something about it's see it's
Given privilege.
but also about who? See, you always look at a phenomenon. Something it's like that time. Like when people say the system is broken, I said, no, this was designed to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So something that we have something, the inception of it, to be based on something that you can connect to that's yours. You know, like Malcolm said, even our mistakes belong to us. So it's a different feeling you have. Say, man, I can relate to that. Just watch the community. You see what I'm saying? Look at the pride on the Puerto Rican Day Parade. You know what I'm saying? It's a pride. You know what I'm saying? And one brother actually told me, he said, man, Chairman, he said, man, and we ran when you did get locked up. We put you feel what I'm saying? Even with some flags for our people, you know what I'm saying? The flag God gave. And we have to acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? And so you put this, we had these honest discussions. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, what people say, it's one thing to say, we just messed up. You just something you said earlier about the youth. To hear that, let's say, man, it's an attack on you. And there's no between being a victim and a fighting back victim. Because we don't want to engage with defeatism. Say, oh man, it's over with. No, but acknowledge it's something coming. It's something that's directed at you. It's a system. It's an entity that every day. You know what I'm saying? Everything stuff that you may take for granted. You know what I'm saying? There's 2 or 3 y'all walking together. You know what I'm saying? It's ingrained. That's a problem. You know what I'm saying? That's on a flag or coming together for a day to acknowledge that. You know what I'm saying? It's a different feeling you have to say, okay, man, hands up. You know what I'm saying? Then also just say, who am I? You know what I'm saying? This system put, you know what I'm saying? Like I tell, like the big issue we had about the term the Chairman Fred, particularly Lamar Clark, was assassinated. A lot of people say, well, what's the big deal? I said, I was going to be worthy of being assassinated.
Right.
You follow what I'm saying?
Right.
There's a certain amount of prayer just to hear, like, damn, what? When I talk to them, man, when they come to the Hampton House and lay out to young brothers and sisters, I said, dude, Chairman Fred's FBI file starts when he was 13 going on 14 years old. Man, like we said, you shouldn't tell them niggas it's going to break. I said, no, I see them. They're like, damn, who was this? You know what I'm saying? The elementary school he attended across the street from the Hampton House. Before we got there, they didn't even know who he was. One lady said, since y'all been over there, them children need bigger shirt size. That's why you say that. She said they want with their chest up. They be in the school debating like, this part of the class, that's probably his desk he's sat in. You know what I'm saying? Even in the situation when we've been taken out or whatever, say, man, who am I? There's somebody put together a program. They come up and you start giving the age range 14 to 24 years old. You need these examples. You'll say, again, it's the orphan horse and the most difficult horse to raise. You know, frame of reference, we didn't have before them. But to have these type of conversations, you know, say who you are, and then to explain, lay out this, even myself. Well, I try to struggle to go for what we refer to as principal contradictions. I was just coming another day. I said, man, you try to do some basic work at the house. Basic work. And it hit me, some of the Negroes we've been dealing with. And it hit me like the brick of it. I said, man, I have never in my life experienced some black construction workers finish the job. And it hurt. I thought about it as a child. I remember the dude's name was Kimball. This dude came to my house as a child. And that impacts you to never see, you know what I'm saying? And to see other communities do, you know what I'm saying? It hurts to say some they really have never seen a black man and vice versa, you know what I'm saying? But also what you need to do is put it in context too. What has been happening, how those have been like those who stand up, those who work have been targeted. Like you just can't say Marcus Garvey, the star line failed. Put in context that J. Edgar Hoover brought in the first Negro agent to attack him. You feel what I'm saying? It makes you, okay, look at this different. You feel what I'm saying? It puts it in context. You need this. I said, it hurt. I said, damn, man, just some basic construction. But you lay out the whole, those who stand up, the task come with this school on 72nd and Jefferson, Winnie Mandela School. I'm up there speaking to these youngsters. So I Winnie Mandela. So a couple of youngsters, they like, man, I said, hold on, y'all know what that is? They like, oh, don't care. It was ignorance with the arrogance. So the principal walked past, I said, hold on, this hand, let's go. You should stop this. You're going to look some respect for this young youngster who Winnie Mandela is. So one young brother, he raised up. But I ain't going to man. I said, good plan, wrong man. We ain't going. I said, youngster. He said it's going to go. Man, that young brother, man, 14 years old, man. He stopped, man. He cried. He said, you the first man I ever seen. Caused a tear to come on my eye. I ain't crying. Tear come on my eye, though. I was saying, my eyes get sweaty. For sure. I said, damn. And then he said, but they kill people like you. I said, why, man? I said, you ain't John. I'm gonna be upfront with you. And I tell people, I quote one of the leadership in the streets of Chicago, brother, I love it, brother. He reminded me about 30-some years ago, he told me, he said, man, you crazy to die for the people. I said, yeah, man, you know, shit. Niggas die for cars, drugs, you know what I'm saying? So in other words, acknowledge it and give a deeper definition. You know what I'm saying? To put it clear again, because of the personal condition and the different external factors, why this happened. And not that people say, oh man, it's just a cop out. No, they laid it out, it helps you to sanity. Say, okay, and also look out for the roadblocks too. You know what I'm saying? And then you have a different assessment. I always say, quality time outweighs quantity time. I say, I'll take Chairman Fred's 21 years as opposed to 90 years of some of these chumps. You know what I'm saying? But it might make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Right. It makes you look at it. Look at it. You know what I'm saying? You get engaged and defeated, they'll show you, look what happened to you when you stand up. Right. Yeah, but hold on, man. You can't kill the other man. Now, he's buried. Chairman Fred is buried in Haynesville, Louisiana. Every year around December, law enforcement shoot his tombstone up. Law enforcement. Shoot his tombstone up like clockwork. They don't need no Twitter, no reminders, they shoot his tombstone up. We had a big internal debate how to deal with it some years back. My sister, this is Janasa, she's actually the niece of little Bobby Hutton.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Hutton was assassinated April 6, 1968. The treasurer, one of the members of the Black Panther Party.
Right.
So the vote was the cover over it. You know what I'm saying? I said, no. I said, we want to do an M&T attack. I said, this is something, you know what I'm saying, the world should see. You know what I'm saying? I said, and I used to contribute some question, who is he? Who, you know what I'm saying? That even in the grave, they going and he's buried like up in the backwoods. I'm telling you, we go down, it's hard to get up in there.
Yeah.
They still doing it. And that's to be able to distinguish living from existing.
Yeah.
I see they set up a plantation, the plantation owners tell their children, it's gonna be good for the ghost of Reverend Nat Turner to get you. I said that's living.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Existing is a different dynamic. I said, so we end up getting like a casing over the not the cover, but a casing over the tombstone.
Yeah.
I said, that's a different dynamic. You know what I'm saying? So to give you that option, say, man, to be able to live.
Damn, yeah, and I think, you know, that shooting up the tombstone is that's a fear attack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because your father, you know what I'm saying, had a lot of courage to do the Black Panthers in itself. The brothers had a lot of courage, man, to speak the truth during that particular time, during the 60s or whatever, where our people was under heavy oppression. The problem is that the oppression ain't went nowhere. You see what I'm saying? But brothers like yourself, big up the man to the chairman again. Bring them all. They were right. But having the courage to speak the truth is more important. Is the most important. But what's even more important than that is, man, you got to be able to look death in the eye and say, when you look at these babies that we got coming behind us, and you looking at death and you fear death, then you ain't fit to be sitting in a position of leadership. One thing I love about Commander Jenny Hanna stand on the principle of death is an afterthought when it comes to fixing your people out. Right. You're going to take on this job as you go in the Bible, they killed all the prophets, you know what I'm saying, for speaking the truth. Yes. And we here right back now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It is nothing more important to our people than the man that's led by the Most High. We go on the street corners, man. We teach what we teach. A lot of people ignore us and all that. But the problem is you can't continue to ignore what we're saying. Yeah. Because we're in a hell of a time right now where this empire, I'm sure everybody see it, Donald Trump like Hitler 2.0. Yeah. And he's feeding his people to be the German and the Nazi party all over again. Yeah. So where do we stand at as black and brown people in the midst of these people ready to come down on us and completely obliterate us? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. This is why it's important to turn the people back to doing what the Lord say. You understand? Because we can get guns and defending ourselves, but what's more important than getting a gun and defending yourself is obeying what that man say. Because America got a judgment coming for what they did to the Lord's chosen people. You know what I'm saying? And we stand in the way of that judgment being delivered to white people by not obeying what the Lord say to do. The minute we start doing what the Lord say to do, this place gonna be get this the judgment that they so rightfully deserve.
Working diligently to thy voice.
All right, give it up.
Every time I think about conversating with y'all, I just gotta go before I even open my mouth. I gotta go do my diligence and make sure.
Hey, real quick, all the facts. Brother had a question in the back.
Sir, if I could, I just like to ask a question to the chairman. So, I heard you mention like the drug epidemic that happened in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I was just, I didn't do a whole lot of research on that time.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I was born like in the 90s. So I was just, trying to ask you, like, during that time, what was the main focus of like the Black Panther Party on attacking that whole push of putting drugs in the black community?
Now, but time context, Black Panther Party, you talking about the 60s? What time period you talking about?
In the 80s during the drug epidemic when it was
yes.
a lot of crack going on.
Okay, let me the Black Panther Party, so major like a military defeat, like 1969. Still, the party was still effective until technically speaking, 1978, the last office, 78, the last office shut down, and this is the crack epidemic that later, that was flooded the entire communities. all, on the first, we said on distinguished military defeated and ideologically win. Distinguish that first two. Ideologically, they won. In other words, you can walk to the people, even if they're, and take this term of, we gotta make it demoralized as opposed to this dope fiends and strawberries, hypes, demoralized. You go to person that's demoralized, reaching that area, you can see it like light up. You know what I'm saying? So ideologically, they won. The people had love for it, but it was a major hit. You know what I'm saying? So for that time period with the implementation of crack cocaine, the Black Panther Party was even some of our leadership. I tell the Black Panther Party Cubs, or they picked up the baton to carry, that was hit by this form of chemical biological warfare. I was mentioning earlier about the various street organizations, you know what I'm saying, which though they were not revolutionary organizations, however, it was a structure that just had like a code that kept, you know, some checks and balances in the community. And mind you, as a not that people, you know, saying this is a system that even if you're not actively challenging, it will still get down on you. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain images that represent a threat, certain structure. That represent, so I'm talking about earlier was the leadership. Fluky Stokes, he was murdered. Jeff Ford, Chief Malik, the Black Stone Rangers, the El Rookies. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. The street organizations that were targeted, that stabilize any, and that's something that in our community, any aspect of organization, you know what I'm saying? Because like communalism, you know what I'm saying? That's what it has to break that up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just a great question. You with but prior to that, even with the heroin, that was even like the 1970. Okay, this is part of the infamous I mentioned the COINTEL program. They hit them not with the Black Panther Party, not only with assassinations, it was forms of chemical biological warfare brought into the community. William Sullivan, who was the architect of the COINTEL program, William Sullivan was the deputy director of the FBI. Jacob Hoover was the director this time period through the late 60s. Yeah. And Jacob Hoover had said that the Black Panther Party represented the #1 threat to the internal security of the United States in the Civil War. The Attorney General here, John Mitchell, said the Black Panther Party had to be destroyed by the end of 1969. And they were strategically hidden. So I mentioned Bobby Hutton, April 6, 1968. 2 years after King was assassinated. U.S. Chairman Frederick Senator Mark Clark, December 4, 1969. Captain John Hudson, Minister of Defense, Deputy Minister of Defense, Bunchy Carter, L.A. UCLA campus, January 17, 1969. It was strategic hits, and the way it was done, assassination, to break the spirit of the people. Then back to William Sullivan, was sent to Vietnam, Southeast Asia, to deal with this so-called drug problem, which is kind of ironic because there was the French, after the French, U.S. had bombarded, the legal dope beings and prostitution houses all throughout Vietnam. William Sullivan come back from Vietnam, Southeast Asia, and all of a sudden, our community in particular is bombarded with heroin and force habits. Vietnam, Southeast Asia is where poppy leaf grows at. The raw form of heroin corruption. When he comes back, and also the type of effect they had on you, because so now as opposed to fist stuff, you move it energetically, you nod it out. You know what I'm saying? So they go so far as what type of drugs, you know what I'm saying? It's not a blanket, give you some drugs. Yeah, right. What type of energy, how you want you move it or not move it. Yeah. So this 71. 1978, you had the Sandinistas fighting back in Latin America, resisting in Latin America. William Sullivan is sent over there to deal with their so-called drug problem. Same William Sullivan. When he comes back from there with Latin America, all of us, later, 78, later on you see the cocaine and crack being bombarded through the communities. Latin America, the coca leaf grows at. Right. You follow what I'm saying? So you can make the connection from local to international with that. Even it's a reactionary discussion you can have now about the immigration right now. But you go back and look at the history with William Jefferson Clinton with the NAFTA, North American Free Trade Agreement. You know what I'm saying? And also this even we really get into a blanket assessment on race, because like I said, like other communities they talk about, like in Korea, Kim Il-sung told the U.S. no, she said no, you may work with the South Koreans, you're not working with us. You know what I'm saying? In Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh and the GI told the U.S. no, you may work with South Vietnam, you're not working with us. So this they talk about. I said I tell them, we speak French. I think that's sign. Oh man, he got me on man, he missed. Man, you ever missing all? Or you got to record me with you missing all this stuff with me? Open the phone. Okay, hold on. Yeah, okay, you missing all this stuff with me. Sit up. You get. You didn't get me a count on me rapping. You missing all this. What the okay? Here's outside these things.
Yeah.
About the race. To be like you made. I'm touching this you said earlier about with some of us. Certain things. I think you talk about the
People that look like us being just
we have to up. We have to. I think we have to more mature that because man, we have to call the question on the Gringos and the Negroes. I'm talking Uncle Sam and Sambo. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that dynamic. You know what I'm saying? That's something that every community has. Where they grab us, we like Genghis Khan and the Mongolians. We went through China and got out of China. It was certain ones he elevated and raised up and say and then told them, "This is what I want y'all to be like." You know what I'm saying? In our community, they'll raise up certain individuals. You know what I'm saying? We can't have an elementary and say, "Oh yeah, no." That's what the Black Panther Party.
Yeah.
I said there are those that was in the Black Panther Party, and there were those of the Black Panthers. Big difference. Big difference. They strategically knew who to hit, how to hit them, when you know, say who to raise up. It's like you know, even dog breeds talk about this. No, that's the brother, the little. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta be real careful with that. You know what I'm saying? Not communities, not organizations, not to have this blanket assessment. Okay, we all together. Hold on, man. This, you know what I'm saying, man, this person. A lot of times I say a lot of people be black when it's beneficial, but they Panthers when it's profitable.
Man, give it up. Go ahead, y'all done.
man.
I'm sorry.
We didn't cover a lot of ground to include being as though who y'all are again. The ISUPK, the Black Panther Party. How do we combine the culture and our city in one total situation? Religion, politics, governing ourselves, loving self first. Is it Chicago and our own culture? Because the culture is what it is because of Chicago. Somebody migrated from the South to Chicago and then the present time. So how do yourself, the captain, yourself, the chairman, combine and they understand the culture in Chicago is not as segregated as they would see it? Because when you think of us as a people, we ain't gonna put color, nationality, or religion on it. Us as a people, as Chicago, this our culture.
Man, well, first and foremost, as it relates to our focus in the ISUK, of course, is unite Black and brown people, right? And so you got many different factions of Black and brown people, man, as far as religion, different groups and all that and everything. But the one thing that we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to be one. So the scriptures say one mind, one body, one faith, one baptism. We got to become one. In order to become one, we start by doing what we're doing here tonight. Again, I appreciate you for sitting down with us. Damn right.
Yes, sir.
That's right. You know, man, how you do it is me and this brother sitting down. We been sat down with the brother used to roll with Larry Hoover.
Ike Taylor.
Sat down with Ike Taylor. We just sat down with Bo Deal. Okay, you know what I mean? And this is important to know because if we're gonna become one, we got to sit down and dialogue with one another. You know what I mean? And say, okay, brother, your plan and what you believe in might be better than what I plan to believe in. But we'll never know if we don't sit down to have a dialogue. Like in the struggle for power in the edition that we in, us having dialogue amongst each other is the best thing that we can have. Because you know what? If you say, well, y'all wrong in this, and we see that, we're gonna acknowledge that. But now, if you wrong, then you gotta sit there and acknowledge and say, okay, what we doing in the path we taking is wrong. You see what I'm saying? And really, accountability. And no matter what faith, religion, or group that you're in, the number one thing that we must understand is we all got a common enemy. Donald Trump just showed you he went to DC, brought the military force in Washington DC to do what? That's once again a scare tactic. You know what I'm saying? Not only to show their presence, but to put the fear in the hearts of Black people, man. And according to the records, get me right on this, he coming to Chicago is where Reagan having a military in different other cities. For what? You see what I'm saying? All that is to do is to put the fear in the heart of Black and brown people to never stand up and accept your condition. And in the eyes of UK, we not accepting our position under the foot of white supremacy. If you're going to fight a fight, you got to fight fire with fire. You see what I'm saying? And the way that you fight fire with fire is getting your people, just curing those people of the sickness that's been put on us by these different religions. What we believe in is why we're so sick as a people. If you go into church and they teach you God's laws no longer exist, you ain't got to keep God's laws. That means now you might, when you see somebody molest a child, then you shouldn't say nothing to them. Because God's law done away with. What the hell you doing pointing the finger at somebody, you know what I'm saying, when you teaching that? So if we got to get back to the moral aspect of fixing ourselves mentally. Once we do that and we continue to have these sit downs and dialogue, brother, we're gonna be on the right path.
Man, I sure appreciate y'all tonight. I got some thinking to do. I don't even think I'm gonna give you no rest tonight. I gotta figure out how to get y'all to come back and talk about the growth part, because now we done got through the spiritual and the political part. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the you can't do nothing without like if he can't do what he want to do, it ain't gonna happen. It's only here because brother Yaradan.
Damn right. Big shout out to Priest Yaradan.
Yes, sir.
Putting him up. Brother he don't want no limelight, man. Yeah, but this is one hell of a brother in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, man. Brother grew up on the West Side, man.
Yes, sir.
Changed his life. Come from a life that's horrific that we all come from. Brother beat the West Side, came into the truth, man, and he the reason why this interview taking place.
Say that.
And
Shout out to my brother. Shout out to my
humble. Listen, humble as could be. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to shout that brother. I know he don't want the limelight, but damn, I'm gonna give it to him anyway.
I know. Respect.
Right.
Respect.
Y'all were done?
Yeah, all I wanted to do was ask the chairman a question about because nobody would have blamed you, right, for you going on and living like after the horrific things that your family experienced, your mother and your father. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody would have blamed you for just like having nothing to do with the, you know what I'm saying, the Panthers, Black movements, anything else. What made the decision for you to take on the mantle, like you said, like you picking up, where your father left off and different things of that nature? What made you make that decision after seeing these horrific things happen to your family?
Ironically, I was with wife, widow, a good brother now the other day, and she was saying like, man, Chairman, you put in work, you know what I'm saying, you're your mother. And
the good comrade while we are.
Comrade.
yeah,
Right.
Comrade.
and that was even something like that. Even today, like I'm telling you something, battle fatigue. Battle fatigue is for real. I said to another lady, I was talking to my man, talking to the day. I said, it's good in your voice. I said, I ain't gonna jab you. I said, sometimes I'll be wondering, like, man, is it like The Walking Dead? I said, you'll see all of them, they moving this sink and everything. I said, damn, you feel like you isolate this, like, damn, so I just let these boys bite me too. I mean, and then you can do reality checks like, no, and once and you you know certain things, go backwards, treason, you know what I'm saying? And so I wrote this poem one time called "Is Ignorance of This."
Mm.
And I was talking, man, what if I didn't know certain things, really enjoy it. So you look at some people, you're like, man, just enjoying that, And I got to go, my adversary, this system also keeps me on to also reminds me, you know what I'm saying? Like, because with the breaking, they come for you. And they like we talk about lineage earlier, they know, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people don't know that they know us better than we know ourselves. They can see the potential of the lineage, you know what I'm saying? So they'll come through, and like Malcolm X said one day, he said, man, so you can lay down for if you want to, and then say, no, you want satisfied. You look at all the slave success stories they can show us, all the Negroes who you look at them, Richard Puffball Combs earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, all this Negro done did for the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you look and you say, damn, all this, but it's a and I'm sometimes be like, man, they was laughing at me earlier, my comrades, and I'm telling you, after this August 30th, I'm telling y'all, I take a breather for 2 of them, they laugh, like, yeah, I read the champ. It's an addiction for the people, you know what I'm saying? I be like, as soon as I got done with them, I sit down and there's something kick in, and I like, and then I hope the sister watching this too. I went to her event earlier, and I got lost. But went through, and I'm losing internal struggles too, because the comrades moving them up, who rolling with me. I didn't wait on them. I be sneaking moving. Sometimes like so when Tupac get out, none of the producers can keep up with. He had to get certain things out, and I took that be like on makeup time. I gotta move. I can hit this event, I hit that event. I know what this done for me, you know what I'm saying? Knowing that lineage, you know what I'm saying? I know what it done for me. And I got this thing in my mind to be, you don't know who you can impact. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it before and after brothers and sisters I came in contact with. People come tell me, man, you don't remember me, so you did Brother Yaya said one time he doing an event. I said, man, good job. He said, you don't really remember things. I said, no, he said, we had these classes in the basement on 55th of Atlanta, this church, your political education classes. He said, man, I was a youngster, I used to sit back and sneaking there watch you, then they brought you in prison. So I remember they brought you, had you shot with them, and you come mix your head what's up, you know what I'm saying? And you never know the impact on people. You feel what I'm saying? And I just, I just, man, I know this stuff, you know what I'm saying? It was some meme on social media said we look like we've been through, we some ugly individuals. And to be armed with something that didn't see our people, you know what I'm saying, our differences, our contradictions, whatever else said. And just it's a feeling, man, that hey, kind of, I'm telling you, sometimes I'll be like, man, I'm sitting down after the next event, breathe. They literally laughed at me. I said, after August 30th, y'all, I'm saying, yeah, right. And you constantly see like the inspiration from our people, man. You know what I'm saying? Even the most messed up situations, and it's a hot. It's a channel for it's a. I told someone, I'm gonna go to revolutionary rehab and just try to. But then something I'm telling you, something happened. It's like somebody tell you how you impacted it, and just I won't say hold on some of the abstract, but potential of our people, man. You want that. We going this all ours, you know what I'm saying? That's reality, you know what I'm saying? But you just the fact of us even walking upright, you know what I'm saying? The 2 parts of the rose group of concrete, you know what I'm saying? And even now, the more stuff the more stuff coming out, the taxi was under, you know what I'm saying? You say, man, you know what I'm saying? That's important to have that template. I look at, I look at Chairman Freeland, you know what I'm saying? Man, I learn more and more, you know what I'm saying? I love information too, and certain things you did, like, there's some battles right now as we speak. People trying to hijack the legacy of Black Panther Party, I'm seeing some ugly stuff, you know what I'm saying? And it's like throwing up, or you know what I'm saying? And it stinks. But I'm learning more, so you need those contradictions, like movie Judas and Black Messiah, our position,
Mhm.
this position was criticism about the narrative appearing to come from William O'Neill.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So we back and forth, and then now, but then on the set, the keep stand played William O'Neill. Talk one thing, he said, Chairman, I learned a lot this thing, man. He said, one thing I learned, he said, there are more of those who are like William O'Neill, those who are Chairman Fred. And I said to him, I said, you really have to, you don't know Chairman Fred, you got to know O'Neill also, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like L.B. Hannigan was a state's attorney. It was assassination, you know, so he's the poster child. We went to his funeral and paid our disrespects. You know what I'm saying? We went to his funeral, we went to that funeral, you know what I'm saying? We went to, we paid our disrespects. We told my man, yeah, up in the funeral, you know what I'm saying? We went to the funeral of Gloves Davis, Negro who pulled the trigger, you know what I'm saying? Man, paid our disrespects, you know what I'm saying? We consistent with it, you know what I'm saying? And this is something that we have to struggle. A lot of people don't want to talk about that, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But you acknowledge this because they'll say, because they make you appreciate for us, because some people just do something they ain't got no other choice but to make a conscious say, no, Field Marshal George Jackson, the Black Panther Party said, this is capitalism, this system is such a foul piece of pie. Even if I could have a piece, I'd rather not.
Mhm.
So you know what I'm saying? So the book is to learn from, you know what I'm saying? And believe me, there's when I was held captive, they had the guys who was involved in the banditry, the rape, the drug, they give them all the fancy stuff, they brother man, Charlie, man, they gonna shake your cell down. You know what I'm saying? They harass you, they stop your visits, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna be one situation count big money, we call it Big Bloody River.
Mhm.
Now the big money, we call it Big Bloody River. So we greet each other with who? Joyce was one guard walking up to us, hey, can't be saying this. So another brother just trying to explain to him. Well, it is, oh, you gotta come up, please. You ain't explain nothing. I said, man, you know. So I go back into the unit. I tell the brother, I said, man, they raised the guard. I said, we can't say it. So I knew they gonna be like, what? So they saying it more.
Mhm.
So we build everybody greet each other, you know, man, free them all. It's intense. So I watched this Machiavellian captain, his name was Gamble, Lieutenant Gamble. He brought this guy down from one of the organizations, brought him down in the helicopter, told him to tell his membership on the yard, y'all cannot associate with Hampton, don't associate. I watched this.
Damn.
So the brother who was my security, Che Juba, long live, he passed now, he's a soldier. He's kind of reactionary. He's like, man, let's kick it off. You know, I said, oh, brother, so we know the values. I said, they're gonna try to make the movement in some sort of, quote unquote game, or you know what I'm saying? We'll hide the contradictions. I said, give me a list of campaigns we're working on. And at the time, it was like Lamont Bridges, the GDs, and they didn't get no medical attention, subsequently died. I said, push forward for us on campaigns. And brothers in the camp started saying, damn. I said, man, that's good. They said they do stuff for the vice lords, the site, they for the people. And so now it's exposing this criminal to the administration using to go against the movement. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the imperative. You want to make sure that you bring the plus out the sword. You know what I'm saying? What's really happening here? Because the sense was Machiavelli was throwing the rock hat in his hand, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Notice this one, they try to get the government trying to get the vice lords to take out Chairman Fred. They try to get the Stones to do it.
Mhm.
They tried all that.
Yeah.
He hiding the contradictions, brought the plus out the sword. You know what I'm saying? They came in uniforms. That's a great move. So now I'm back in isolation for another ticket they got me on. And so the same dude who they using, he's in SEG in front. And so in the back, so I hear him. They finna transfer him to another place. He tells me, I can't go there, man. Y'all, he tell me how he broke with them against it. They said, man, you gonna make me up out of here. So I'm in the back, and I hear this. I said, oh man, they got you up out of here, huh? They threw with you, huh? He said, who was that? I said, well, it's Chairman Fred. I said, I'm back here. I said, I'm back in my boxing drawers. I said, I'm still Chairman Fred, though. They didn't make me, they can't break me.
Right.
Right.
All these, you can hear them in sales doors taking all this jewelry they did. You know what I'm saying? So this is contraband now. You can hear them. They can send them back to the same joint. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They told me Galesburg, they said, listen, man, we have a problem with prison when they sell you. I said, the streets say free Fred. So we know we can't do that. He said, well, what can we send you? I said, let me tell you something. This ain't no fugitive. Ain't no run for nobody. You can see me to the last, just give me the state code. I'm organized Eskimo. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you sit at, you know what I'm saying? That's a different feeling. You know what I'm saying? To be wherever you at. As opposed, and some people cool will have their leash on. With the system come out there, make them or break. You know what I'm saying? They would put it, but that people that had that feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like this a you want all the fancy resource, all that. You know what I'm saying? The trinkets that the ruler class gonna give. You know what I'm saying? The nice chain with the leash and the muzzle, you know, the jewelry. You know what I'm saying? But boy, you gonna get you know, so you come in there, it's a different feeling, Cap. You know, you can relate.
Damn right.
I mean, no doubt about it.
Damn right.
And even that mistakes blown us, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying, man, it's a different feeling. Once you get it, it's a taste.
Mhm.
Your palate won't, you know what I'm saying? They come to you, well, nothing else will suffice. You know what I'm saying? So even we had talked that thing, I talked that stuff. I was sitting down, man. Man, that addiction, man, that what, hey, man, you know, it's just something to be able to, man, have that, like I say, you know, some people they want, man, what you want for office? I say, man, listen, my work hours at 9 to 5. I say, man, you know what I'm saying? Man, 24/7, you know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Dialogue like this to come in, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, somebody, you know what I'm saying? That had no, man, say, okay, common interest and didn't have, you know what I'm saying? Man, I remember, this interview, so I'm gonna take care of our minister because to a script up. Don't get out, you know what I'm saying? That's a feeling, man. You know what I'm saying? I get hooked on. You know, want to serve our people, man. You know what I'm saying? And being a walk door. Now, let's say, man, it's a child. I had battle fatigue and test early. And test. You know what I'm saying? Just even the president, you brothers, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This the president. Man, it's like a battery charge, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's dialogue, you know what I'm saying, man? Atmosphere, man, hey, that Nelson suffice, man. Real talk, man.
I
Straight up.
appreciate it. I do. I appreciate it.
Straight up.
Chairman and the captain. You don't hear that here.
Right.
Not in our communities. That's statue.
I said, well, I got a little something about it. You say, hold on, we go work this out. Come on this way. Your word on you. You know what I'm saying? You know, my word, I'm feeling bad right now because it's getting up a little bit too early. You know? I hope the sister, when she's checking this out, you know what I'm saying? You know, again, you go, I tell you, in our shoes, I'm glad the struggle, Captain, you know what I'm saying? I hear you, brother, the humbleness you don't want, but it's also important too, that was, because we get we need those examples, you know what I'm saying? Because we get bombarded with those negative, you know what I'm saying? We that'll be ego tripping, you know what I'm saying? But we do need that dynamic, you know what I'm saying, man? We got that, you get some examples, you know what I'm saying? We like to use some real models, those role models, you know what I'm saying? And I'm showing some of my comrades, like, man, we get that live. A lot of them be trusting, no, we not tripping about no hits and like that, but still, the images. I still say, I think back in my life, you know, certain images and stories about certain people, it impact you. You know what I'm saying? That it impact you. Like, I'm an adult. You man, only killing each other. Imagine, I say, man, a child, man, you talking about suicide rate. They need to hear situation. The people that they look like them. Say, man, this brother do this. You can only come to West Side. He does. I heard you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
There was a situation because I think you get called defeatism. Like, man, they give us people who can't relate to us, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, they can. That's hypothetically speaking. Let's say that they are sincere doing. That's hard to say. It's a law, but they can't even relate to. We need examples. The people that can relate to us say, man, well, you don't you come from West Side, you can relate to, man.
Right.
Laid it out, man.
Shut up. Y'all die.
Clean the camera out. I was so about to. You see, I'm up
Let the name. Think about our lives, man. Let the names and stuff. I mean, it's certain people. One more quick boy story. We on 63rd. We on 4 years ago. We doing a wine. 67 Austin. We come down. So there's a new brother with me, and so the guys they come in. They demoralized. They do it. So can't go and get the case with the banner for Larry Olafs and Jeff Ford. They don't. They brothers. They want to even do the march. The people do the march. So the guys they come. They demoralized. They tired. So what y'all see the names, you can literally see them like back straightened up. So one of them like man, for free jet quarter, so free Ruben, and so they start like bucking each other, the competition. So, but to me, hey, champion, let's be cool. Let's be cool. Let this happen, man. Let's be cool, man. What? You can see them there, so they can like they go back in time to a man. You know what I'm saying they got something to identify with.
Yeah.
And the climate gets stronger and stronger. You know what I'm saying? And a brother up to us, brother, be cool. It's a process. It has happened. Then you can see the balance even tightening up. They also they moving strong. We get to the place also that they get to the end, and I strategic about who I grab both Larry, grab the other smaller. I said, all right, free them all. The whole crowd free them all. But it was you seen how the impact of just the names to them, bro. You know what I'm saying? You never know until you're real careful. We talk to come be defensive antagonists with contradictions. I said, you don't know what they've done for this person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Be real careful. You don't know what they do. And so to have that, you know what I'm saying, what periods of life, you know what I'm saying, it had impacted them. And I said, we deprived of that. Or we give it such situations that they'll silverback gorilla, they give you that sanitized milk, you know what I'm saying? They've been deprived of that milk from the breastplate of a real gorilla. You need certain names. Man, when I was locked up, I never met this brother named Dingo. Man, he said this man, brother, man, he was so, they used to have those 3-4 handcuffs on him, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Big old brother, and these bitches, the guards, you can see them, they shake, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he ended up doing more time because this other young brother, he stood up for him, they shot over all to a medication, but his name inspired people, you know what I'm saying? You say, you remember you heard him? And people, Brisborn, I'm heard the I-57 burgers, this guy who was known, and they got mad. He had a case on the state troopers or something, and they had an execution date for him. Where every time his date came, they said he would hit a guard, and so they give him continuous. You know what I'm saying? So then they did with law like, no, we gonna excuse they have. Man, they sent me down to Supermax Towns. They sent me down to town Supermax. When I got there, man, they ended up putting us all to like a kennel. You had all these. They said, who was that? That's such and such. They said, little Chairman Frick. And they said, man, this Brisborn. Man, the Brisborn, I'm talking about, man, this brother's so short with these big glasses. I said, Brisborn, his name is, you know what I'm saying, kept people like their head up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So your name, we need that, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We need it should be stories and what you're saying, again, history, they're gonna water us down, they're gonna try it. We need that generational griots. Great bad.
Yeah, right.
We'll have to start having church on what's today? Today is Sunday. Damn, so I guess I'll see y'all next Sunday on another episode of All the Facts. With a P, your host, the Jackass Podcast, me, that's who. Thank you kindly, the chairman. Thank you kindly, the motherfucking captain. And again, y'all were done. It wouldn't happen without you, sir. Thank you kindly.
Thank you. Appreciate you, brother. Make sure you take my contact.
For sure.
Follow up. Yes, sir.
Damn right.
Yes, sir. This is great.
Right.
Shalom. Great move, brother.
I know I ain't saw you before.
Respect.